A life-threatening moment that could take away everything.
All-star forward Chris Bosh is in a Miami hospital.
Kind of have a surreal kind of moment. People pass away all the time from blood clots.
Blood clots to the lungs are a very, very rare condition.
But from that darkness comes restoration.
It definitely gives you an outlook and an appreciation. I feel like I've been given a second chance. Can I have besito? Just being around that joy has just been unbelievable. All right, those are Jackson's cupcakes.
It began with the challenge to get back to the court.
Head and shoulder. Good, get up.
It all starts here, you know, what you gonna do when nobody's looking?
Yep.
I can run around, I can jump around, and I'm healthy, and that's all that matters.
And ended with gratitude and gratefulness.
I owe the game everything, and just to be able to play it is great. You know, I'm living my dream.
Inside the Heat, Chris Bosh. Welcome to Inside the Heat. I am Jason Jackson. Chris Bosh's life is a fairy tale, a great story, dreams coming true, multiple championships, Olympic success, a great life, and a great family. Let's go back to that life for a second. Right in the middle of the 2014-15 NBA season, Bosh knew something was wrong with his body, but at the time, he just didn't know how wrong.
Bosh hits a three-pointer as the shot clock ran out. Big shot, Bosh.
It felt like twitching pain in my left side. Breathing was a challenge. I knew something was wrong, but I kept playing anyway. It really got worse, and when I couldn't move, I couldn't really sleep. It was painful to do everything. It just became so unbearable.
We had actually a good practice. Everybody was able to go, except for CB. He's still feeling under the weather.
It was like no more being tough anymore. It hurts too bad.
He's at the doctor's right now.
They took an x-ray of my lung, and, you know, they told me that it was fluid in my lung. It's partially collapsed. So I was like, okay.
Breaking news, serious news. Heat star Chris Bosh is in the hospital
for what the team says are tests in his chest area.
I went right to the hospital. I had to do the CT scan like 2 or 3 times. I guess my size, they had to kind of make some adjustments to make sure that I get the right treatment. And then after that, they told me I had blood clots. And so I went straight from there to the ER, and I was transferred to a room, and that's when they told me I would have to be admitted to the hospital right then and there. You kind of have a surreal kind of moment.
Blood clots to the lungs are a very, very rare condition in elite athletes. There was only 4 in the last 20 years in the NBA.
They told me over the next 24 to 36 hours, they have to monitor me closely because my blood needs to thin so I won't have any serious repercussions. And, you know, that's kind of shocking to hear a little bit, but, you know, people pass away all the time from blood clots. I wasn't concerned with much outside of my family. My wife, she stayed pretty much the whole time. She wouldn't go home. My son and daughter came out to visit me, of course, and it was kind of tough because I was in pain and in the hospital, and I didn't want them to see me like that. After those 24 to 36 hours passed, they said I was okay, you know, and going to be okay. Then I started thinking more so about basketball.
Chris is heavy on our hearts, no doubt about it. It's not about basketball, you know, it's bigger than that. You know, I just want the best for my friend.
Coach Riley, Coach Spo came by, Dwayne came by to come see me. You know, we just sit there and talk. You really see who cares about you and who your friends are in those situations, because some of my friends, I mean, they came to visit me, and all I did was I talked to them sometimes, but some days I'd be too tired. It takes good friends to do that, and I had guys coming by every day, so that was awesome. I was just so happy to be out. I thought I was just gonna bounce right back into normal life, and that totally was not the case. I remember I was like late on my medication one time, and that was no fun because I wasn't healed yet. I still had openings in my ribs where they put the chest tubes in me, so that was kind of tough. It took about another 3 days before I could kind of get back to normal physical activity, and all I did in those 3 days were like sleep all day and just sit in one spot and heal. And that took a while. And 3 days is a long time when you're not doing anything. On the fourth day, I think me and my wife and my daughter, we went for a walk. And I think I walked maybe like 100 yards, 150 yards, and I was like, let's go back. I had a sight in mind. I thought I was gonna walk like maybe 3 blocks or something, and it was like, nah, I had to turn around real quick. And, you know, I learned how much it takes out of you and how much it takes to get back on your feet.
Welcome back to Inside the Heat. When Chris Bosh was released from the hospital, his ordeal was not over. He was going to have to wait for test results to find out if the game, which had formed the tapestry of his life, was going to be taken from him.
That was another reality that I was facing when I was in the ER, is that, you know, I might not be able to play basketball again. That on top of a life-threatening situation, it was kind of you know, scary. So waiting for the test to come back, it took a few days. And a lot of things were going through my mind, especially about basketball. You know, it has totally revitalized and refreshed my perception on life, really, and everything that's going on with me.
And the road to recovery is far from over. Now, the good news is he should be ready for next season.
It definitely gives you an outlook and an appreciation, really, for life and everything that you do. So I'm trying to keep that in my brain and, you know, be thankful for this opportunity. I feel like I've been given a second chance. I was just hanging at the house, and they told me to come down, and I was like, for what? And the whole Heat family was there, and that was really cool.
What's going on, everybody? Printed up all the get well messages you got online and through your social media. We got 10,000 cards here for you, Chris. Appreciate that. Hope you got room. Thank you.
Just having people just show support. I didn't know I guess, I hope I'm that nice of a guy, but, you know, you never really know. But things like that, when people show support in different kind of ways, it was awesome. And then the boxes, all the tweets and stuff that people were sending out, wishing me well and everything, and that was really cool. And I'm very thankful for it. It's because would usually check up on you first and see how you're doing before they talk about basketball. It's nice.
Heat Nation, I'm good. I'm doing well. Backing on my feet. I'll be at the game soon. And thank you for everything. I made it because of you.
I just wanted to kind of go somewhere. Go somewhere where I belong. And it was great. That was the first time I had been nervous, like, in a long time. When I went to the arena, it was a good feeling. It was kind of like a brand new feeling. You know, I've just come to appreciate everything about basketball. You know, just being in the grind of doing this special job that we have, and it's, you know, it's something that I love and will love forever. I felt like more like myself when I started going back to the games. Because it got to a point where I'm not used to being in a position like this. Something feels like it's missing, but being able to go back around the guys, be around the game, that was very good for me.
Hey, everybody. I'm happy to be right here where I belong, with you all.
It was one of his first times getting out the house, being able to come to the arena, and that was a big day for him. You know, we take it for granted, so it was great having him here.
It allowed me to look at the game from a different perspective. I had never sat for so many games. I'm always in the game playing, so I was just kind of everywhere, listening to what guys say, looking at the fans. I had time to really kind of soak everything in, get an insight on ideas, and just grow more, I guess, as a person. I was kind of looking at it as some way to help. I'm still competitive. I want to see my guys do good, so I'm just trying to motivate them in games, because I know how hard it is to play, and I know how hard it is to not play. So I'm trying to convince these guys to give a little more effort, give them encouragement. A couple games came down to the wire, and I was I was jumping around everywhere. I couldn't help it.
Wade, and the foul. And the Heat go up by 5.
CB likes it. With Chris Bosh off the Heat bench in an animated way, encouraging his teammates.
You know, it was just good to be in that environment.